Hi Dave, happy birthday. These are some of your birthday jokes, and I'm going to try to tell you about three of them. I don't know if you've heard these, that's why I'm going to tell you three. Because anyway, there's this couple and they're traveling and they've been on the road for a while and they want to stop and have something to eat, so they stop at this kind of a lounge bar off the highway. And they go in and they go and sit at the bar because all the tables are taken. They can't get over how crowded this place is. And they ask the bartender for a menu, and he's going to serve them right there, and he says, "You want anything to drink?" And they order a couple of drinks, and in the meantime, some couple at one of the tables yells out, "347," and everybody in the whole building start laughing like crazy. You know, people are falling out of their chairs. They can't believe this. This couple is watching all of these people laughing and laughing and laughing. And finally, the laughter subsides, and the bartender comes over, and they go, "Wow, that was something." And before he can, bring them their drinks and that, somebody in the back of the lounge yells 11, and all of a sudden the same thing happens. People are screaming with laughter, and this goes on and on for like a couple of minutes. Finally, the bartender comes back with their drinks, and they said, "What's this all about? What's with the numbers?" And he goes, "Oh, well, quite a few of the people here are regular customers, and as a result, we used to tell jokes and try to break each other up. And this would go on for years, and what happened was they told the same jokes so often, people would know them by heart. So instead of telling them jokes just to save time, they yell out a number. And then everybody in the place remembers the joke, and then they laugh at the joke." So they go, "Oh, okay, well, that's something." All of a sudden, somebody in the back of the restaurant yells out 47. And there's stone silence. You could hear a pin drop. Nobody laughs. So the bartender comes over, and the girl says to him, "What was that all about? How come nobody laughed when this guy said 47? He goes, "Well, some people just don't know how to tell a joke." Okay, that was number one. If you're still with me, if you haven't turned me off, this guy is working in a bar. He works part-time, bartender at night. He has to close the place up because the owner can't work late. So there's a few people left, and then finally everybody leaves in the bar, and it's like 2:30 in the morning. He's waiting for this one last guy to leave, and the guy is really drunk. I mean, he's got his head on the bar, and he can't do anything. He's slurring his speech. Finally, the guy goes over to him and says, "Sir, I've got to close up. You think you could go home? Don't you have a home to go to?" And the guy, blah, 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 can't understand what the guy's saying. So finally, he's wiping the bar down, and all of a sudden he notices the guy is stone cold out asleep with his head on the bar. So he goes over and he lifts him up and tries talking to him. He can't revive the guy. So he starts to stir him again. "Sir, don't you have a place to go home? Don't you have a place to go home?" Finally, he reaches in, looks at the guy's wallet, and sees the guy's address, and he figures, well, there's no way this guy could drive home anyway, so I might as well drive him to his home and take him home to his family. So he goes around, he's got everything ready, he's going to lock up the bar, and he leans the guy against the bar, and the guy just kind of falls over. And he goes, "Wow, this guy is really out." So he leans him up again, and then finally he starts dragging him away. He puts him on a chair because he's got to get the door ready to lock the place up, and the guy falls off the chair. So he goes over and he picks the guy up, and then he manages to get him over by the door, and he leans him against the door, and it's like the guy has rubber legs. The guy starts falling. He manages to catch him, grabs him, gets him to his car, and then goes back and locks up the bar. When he got him to his car, he just leaned him against the back hood because he thought the guy would fall down, and he couldn't open up the car and put him in because it would take a while. So finally he manages to get the guy into his car, remembers the address, drives the guy home, stops the car, parks in front of the house, knocks on the door, there's no response. So he goes back and he gets the guy out, and he figures, well, he's probably got house keys in one of his pockets or whatever. So sure enough, he does find some house keys, gets the guy out of the car, and the guy is just falling over drunk. He can't revive him in any way. So he leans him against the back door, locks his car door, starts taking him up to the front of the house, and he literally has to drag him up there. So then he gets him up to the porch, and he's going to fish the guy's keys in that, and he leans him against the porch post, and the guy falls down. So he makes quite a noise when he falls down, and he's getting the guy's keys to open up the house, and all of a sudden the porch light comes on. And this woman comes to the door, and she goes, "What are you doing with my husband?" And he explains the whole story. Oh, he was, drunk, couldn't revive him. I'm working at the bar, so I thought I'd drive him home because he couldn't drive anyway. She goes, "Oh, that's awfully nice of you." And he starts to pick him up, and bring him into the house. And she goes, what are you doing? He goes, well, I can't revive him, and it's like he can't stand up on his own. She goes, well, you didn't happen to see his wheelchair, did you? Okay. This guy goes to the doctor, and he goes, doctor, I'm really worried. You got to help me. This morning I woke up and I thought I was Mickey Mouse, and I started acting like Mickey Mouse. And the doctor goes, okay. He goes, well, that's bad, but the other day I woke up and I thought I was Donald Duck, and I started acting like Donald Duck. The doctor goes, how long have you had these Disney spells?